Okay, hi. I'll start. I'm kind of gonna go of of the plan you gave like last time, cause pretty much my plan and rules haven't been updated. It's still pretty much the same. Cause honestly, I wrote it maybe like only last week. So I'll just start on from the topic of less is more, and I haven't uploaded stats from this week to compare to like last week if I overtraded or not. But as I send you stats before, like a little screenshot of stats, I kind of was able, usually almost maintain like quite be quite disciplined with the number of trades I take. Only like on the blowout days, I sort of go until for some reason I don't know why. But well, as well as I mentioned, it's a I think situational thing, and when I just lose patience, and I think this week felt a little bit more like that, like on the edge of losing patience and like doing some stupid shit. Especially today on PDXM, I believe what its name, I don't remember correctly now. PXMD. After getting like stopped out and due to my own fault, to be honest, and then it flashing, and then just held myself basically from jumping in nearly at the bottom. Of course, it would have worked, but that would have been good. And I said already, took free trades on it and walked away, but managed to stay on plan with that. And oh, and yeah, basically, yeah, that's my I think this week's trades, including multiple time frames. So I take the same ticker 5 and 15 depending on how many days it moves. So like PMXD 1, 5 and 15, and then the watch list. Screenshot my scanner, save it for like next day. If I can check it, what's been moving and where it is now. Is it gonna push higher, or what's gonna happen? So yeah, multiple time frames. So yeah, not too many trades, not too many tickets traded. I'd say quite disciplined. Always, I think apart maybe from Tuesday, I think I took 4 trades on a one ticker rather than three. I'm not entirely sure, but and yeah, I'm sure when I'm PNL wise, it's not gonna be I think like a great week. It should be green, I'm pretty sure, but nothing spectacular, and I think that's what gets me. I get too focused on PNL, and yeah, I may keep it green, and then but and I think like oh fees and everything eats all the profits, and I try to say like for home run trades a lot of the time. Most of the time, well, not most of the time, they may work, but yeah, I need to improve my well, risk management or trade management, which we're gonna get into quite soon, I think. Cause yeah, so my plan and rules doesn't really change. Cause as well as you mentioned, like sometime we chatted with you, and then you mentioned like quite strict rules. Keep it simple, and quite strict rules may set you back, and not like set you back, but make you not constrained. I can't find the word. I don't remember how to say it. Well, basically puts not necessary stress of completing like some sort of task on a book or something on a list. So I'm kind of keeping it quite loose, kind of. And which brings as well, this is just as we talked with M7 today, I kind of as well showed what I was looking for, as as in like what I'm looking for my entries. So in terms like yeah, like a plan and rule. So always I'm gonna be looking for like high of day, how it reacts over there. I'll look at this, and that brings us as well to the point where I need to well, not even identify. I'm sure within one, two, three, four, five, 6 even minutes, I can identify that this is not gonna work, more or less. So I shouldn't have allowed all this. So I can identify it, and I was thinking about. I was watching a replay, and I saw at this point I was like zooming in, zooming out, checking the higher time frame, and and I was sure that it's. And I remember thinking that it's actually it can push. It literally can push above. How much above I didn't know because I didn't have a level. This was more like a tape trade and high of day trade. So yeah, B grade setup, reading tape trade. So I should have identified that it's more like a sustained volume rather than just a spike in volume pushing to a high of day. But it still didn't exceed this volume, and then quite a big sell volume. So I was like feeling quite okay. I saw I saw a good signal on a tape, which I'm gonna review on a tape document. So this yeah, that would be my another entry where I should be looking for an entry because we had a blow off of volume. It's like almost nearly twice as big as highest volume before, and it makes like as well like a higher high, but on a like blowout volume. So with signals on tape, which I didn't see at this point because I was still in the trade and I just covered. I wasn't fully refocused to react to this because I believe at this point, yeah, I was more focused on chart, but I did notice the tape was yellow green, so I was pushing quite strong. It looked quite strong, and I didn't wait for exhaustion or whatever. Yeah, I just got it there. So I wasn't refocused to take the short, but that would have been something that I would be looking for. So if I cut my position here, wait for this push up 80%, I'm sure I would have taken this trade over here. It failed, so once I didn't get, yeah, maybe I was affected by emotions. This potentially could be as well another trade. I think that coincides with like golden zone, lower volume push. I was a bit hesitant because that to the high it was quite a big risk. So that's why I waited for like seeing things on tape, not on level 2, but like on tape, and I think was focused more on chart, looking at levels. That's why quite low entry, but that was just like a half position. It pushed, failed. I think this confirmed to me, and that's where I added on some running red on tape. Took a took a cover, so that doesn't matter. I'm talking. I should be talking about the entries, but my plan and rules. So this is like a good, not good, like a B entry, I would say, because nothing significant shows. It gives you time to realize that it didn't show you the significant entry, which is I should be either taking profits here or just cutting break even and then looking for re-entry, or maybe not break even but literally setting hard stop somewhere around here, just a few cents above this high, and then looking basically already setting stop and looking at the tape and level 2 for potential re-entry. I should say it like this, and this perfect entry I would say would be a perfect entry. as well, still needs managing. You would have to probably take a no. I think with this selling, with this highest volume, I think yeah, J lines first target, okay, for managing. Then another entry again. This is like a high of day, but this is blowout volume and then lower volume push higher on this emotional push into a high of day. I'm sure there's good things on tape happening. So that would be another thing that I would be okay with entering and would be looking for. And this, of course, yeah, clear out another even lower volume in organic movement, AA orders, some green, but mostly AA push, spread probably opening up. I'm gonna have to review it as well on a tape, but another another good entry. And then yeah, it I just mismanaged it. I should have risked where my confirmation was. Basically, this high to be honest, because volume divergence, clear out, volume's not picking up here as well. Nothing really there. Still lower. Should have risked this or high, but I was trading PNL and yeah, got stopped out and got frustrated. Took this stupid thing. Would have been like a nice trade, but those are my entries. That's what I want to see, and mostly I do stick to this. This was this JLR was I would say a little bit of an error. Okay, I think I expanded too much on this. Uh, so yeah, this was like, well, and essentially this was like today's trade. So which brings us to the actual like review the trades of the week, which was F F R G E. F R G E. What do we have? What's wrong with this thing is basically mismanagement. But other than that, I think it's a decent enough trade. Like one of the things that I'm looking for. So high of day, even like on this. How do I change this? Even like this, volume divergence. You could say wait, sorry. Let's say even like this as well. Volume divergence, just like high of day stuff. Short. I think what good and the problem was which I have is even on today's trade that was the same thing. So where I took not a perfect entry, well, good entry, but I mismanaged it. Where it didn't give me a signal and it pushed higher, and I stopping out here, and then taking like trade or some what doesn't matter this, but like stopping out there. So it gives me time to realize I don't have a signal, and I'm not cutting it break even, and I'm still focused on okay, where do I cover rather than where where do I short. So I need to be well aware of the signals I'm getting and managing trade until it's I get the signal, and then I can leave it break even or high of day and just walk away and let it run to my target, which it usually does. Uh, so this, yeah. So here I saw what I wanted to basically to see in a trade I take, volume divergence, higher high, stuff into high of day, why do I take this? Why do I take this? Why don't I wait for at least this, or at least this for a first color? I'll take 1 4 here, then I can wait for my further targets, which is just two stupid colors. And then no recycle as well or anything. So I need to improve definitely the management part, where if I don't see a signal and I identify it, which I most of the time do, react correctly and cut it break even, so you can focus on the potential reshort. So that's FRGE. So yeah, that's FRGE. Don't save. What's next? We got GRNQ. We've got GRNQ. Maybe GRNQ. We've got another one. No, we haven't. What did we do here? Finally got to my level and was looking weak. It doesn't matter, it didn't happen, I didn't see anything. Why did I take this? Another. Oh yeah, this was quite late in the day. Still managed to add. This was a little. Actually, quite managed this, I think, quite okay. Finally getting my level first, I was looking weak. I thought I identified seller on bid around 264, so any push into or above with weakness. I'm short small position, seller confirmed. Yes, 264. I think I remember this one. 264. Yeah, I believe I identified it somewhere. Yeah, I think on maybe on this area. It was selling, like it was bid popping at 264, but it was hitting tape with some reds, and then was waiting to see some weak AA pushes, but with met with like selling. It doesn't look really pretty. It's kind of a lot of selling. Looks a lot of selling, a lot of selling. And then after a push, I think I had the level as well a little bit higher, and in general, yeah, it's fine. Some silly errors. MGAM, MGAM. Well, looks like I rated myself all green, so it must have been a good trade. Oh, I took 1, 2. Oh yeah, 4 trades, 5 trades. So, I think that must be before you you put a challenge of 3 trades. But I still felt this. Actually, I felt quite good about this one. I managed to keep these 3 trades in. 4th trade, misread this little volume was lower than highest volume of the day. Fredman was also still on track to close low volume. But what I failed to realize is that be already above and holding open volume previous push. So when I also check daily, I thought to be good level. Yeah, this was, I think, okay. I had a good level identified. It was stuffing in there, so started, added, like highest volume, lower volume, added, cut really tight, and then started position, cut it, No, I think sorry, started. This showed weakness, added, and then cut here as well, which may be preemptive because the volume was low as well. Or I should have either cut, I don't know, kept it smaller position and cut it high of day, or allow it to run a little bit and see what it does, or hmm, maybe wait until late in the candle, like 20 seconds. Honestly, and that's the thing I try to look for as well, to be like at least like 20 seconds where we open and where we are. I do try to pay attention to those things, and I'd be very disappointed if I didn't pay attention to this. Maybe because I had too much size in here. I saw cut it there. This is probably, yeah, worst one, more like emotional, but considering the amount of cell volume and how it was, I shot it there. There's partial here, and then I think I walked out and left it on a little bit of break even. No, I think, yeah, so some random level because I was shorting here, so just above that. And I think I walked away after this partial, left my stop at the same level, which I normally probably would have tried to cut it earlier, somewhere here, maybe confirming this lower, a higher low. Then this as well, more or less like a tape trade, just poorly managed because it seemed like volume is actually picking up from somewhere here, gaining some consistency, making this push. It wasn't like, it kind of was explosive, but and it did give a dip back, but it just held it better read on a tape, and probably I have noticed noticed that what it did. But yeah, it took a cut pretty much where I wanted. This, you can see probably that it's already like confidence waning, and some doubt setting in. So not taking what I probably would be a good trade somewhere, entry somewhere here or here, and waiting for that emotional response basically until I see the a lot of a lot of red on the tape. Took a tight stop as well. Kind of not much managed, just take some cuts. So yeah, it's add took a normal cut. This add okay, took a cut. It was reaching my risk limit for the trade, sort of thing. Yeah, same here. Partial was away. Took a decent stop. Stopped out quite okay. Managed it. Same here, probably. Yeah, I don't think I could have done better with the entry rather than the stop. Emotion seems to be, I was fairly aware of it, so yeah, risk management. Probably a red trade, but okay, risk management, I believe. Uh, Nerve. I did take a trade on Nerve, it seems. Okay, what did we do? Oh yeah, that was. I think I was having like quite a good day, or maybe nothing. I think I was actually in a couple of trades and I was having quite an okay trade. Felt good, and I thought I'm gonna. It's out of my price range, and just like average range. I thought in general, not something I would take, but I think I was in a couple of trades and nothing was moving, and someone mentioned in the chat, so I like jumped, put it on my screen, and thought, okay, I'll just take a trade. It seemed good, like okay, extending quite a high volume here, made a higher high, well, clear out higher high with a like lower volume. Saw some selling, took the trade. I think I added too much than my normal size on the price. So realized that, took half off, and then cut at my risk level and just left it alone because it's just not my not my price range. What else we've got? OLB. Yeah, I think I do remember this wasn't a full size. I somehow managed to completely mess this up. It's 2.4 million on the open sell. It showed me everything I wanted to see, but only took like on a low price ticker, quarter of the size. On this lower volume, like push and then another sell, big sell. So entries are good because I identified that it's it's a short. It's just the sizing was way off. I should have loaded probably here and then even added here. So that's why I took this. It was like a JLR, was weak. That's why I added here because this was like quarter, and then I think half of the size, but it should have been even more than all of this. And then of course, okay, took over there. I think these are quarters. Didn't add anything. Add something here for some reason. I don't know why, but I think because this was the like biggest ad, so my average was somewhere. I want to say somewhere around here, and I was maybe expecting a push a little bit higher, somewhere into region of 230s at least, something maybe even higher. But the volume just wasn't there. Yeah, I probably should have added here. In all fairness. So yeah, this is like quite a. I think I'm getting like a quite recurring theme that I'm constantly undersizing on a good signal or after a good signal because I took a kind of a little bit loosey goosey loss on a previous trade. So maybe subconsciously I'm being like cautious and I'm not sure how to fix this. I don't know. It's an interesting one. But yeah, I think that's the general theme, to be honest. Keep like undersizing on my winners and or taking profits too early. And then yeah, there's RPH something there. I mean, most entries are okay, but then this like stupid, silly stop over here. Get stopped out there, and then when I could up there, because most of the first covers I take is like really small, like one quarter or something, and then I try to keep more position to the lower, which is most of the time is 50% fib retracement. Uh, okay, tape. Some tape review to have a look at, which is GRNQ, fake breakout, clear out. This was, I want to say Thursday maybe, or Wednesday. So a little bit more. Let's do this. Okay, let's try. So yeah, it was getting already like 2 p.m. So it already like coincides well with my plan. After 1 p.m., it's certain level extension. This was like extended quite nicely, 73%. Does this quite on a lower volume. It's like picking up volume, and there's this like on a low volume high breakout, fake breakout. What we see is tight spread, 270 offer trap, buyers on tape. There's a little bit red on a big tape as well, but it's mostly all buying. Then we see spread still tight, offer trap, stacked ones on both bid and ask. So we still see the offer trap, which is actually increased from the previous one, which is like just 1 second difference. We see bid and ask ones, but above the one there's like increased offer trap. There's still tape is still the same, still nothing new. Next thing, ask pushes to offer trap, but spread already opens up. Still bid looking weak, one on level 2. So bid is still showing. So the ask push to the offer trap, which is stacked, but bid is not coming up. Still showing just one, looking weak. Still no signal on a tape. It did like a really quick ask retap, like within the same second, to be honest, and add on ask bigger size. So they increased the ask. There was on the tape. It was like green. They re-added on the ask. Bid was still like one. Bid drops, opens a spread. Big tape shows some sellers and it fails. So after the retap, bid dropped to 72. Spread opened like to 5 cents, and ask stepped down as well, both showing one. Bid and ask. There's still some green on the tape, but already we see some below the bid and some bid selling into 66 on a big tape. And basically from here it fails, yeah. So it's that. I think the similar thing I saw today on BB. How is it? Jesus Christ. BXMD, which it did the first trade I took. I believe it was like a same sequence as well, because it happened like really quick. So they showed some selling on a big tape. I'm not sure about the bid, but I know that this got refreshed. The offer trap got refreshed. They retapped it. It got refreshed. There may have been no problems with the spread, but it did show some selling on a big tape, and then it just like stepped down. There may have been ones as well, and it sort of failed. But the problem I see with this is there's no like follow through, which I don't believe it's like a real a real hidden seller or real seller at that time, at that level. Well, maybe he's real, but he's still like trapping in the trapping stage, because this was like very quick retap, very quick re-add. It almost minimal change on the tape. We literally talking like seconds, and it didn't look like it got sold off. It just looked like they allowed it to drop. They painted the picture, and I think we still got like 30 seconds probably. So in reality volume it still can close half a minute, so it still can close relatively in this volume range. So it's like on a higher time frame, it's still like increasing volume. So and and I believe it did push a little bit higher. It dropped, it dropped, and if managed correctly, partials break even, or depending on your sizing, you can add that at a higher point. But but it worked, it worked well, but it wasn't the backside. My point. So it didn't look backsidey. It looked like a okay trade, but it looked just didn't look backside. And another which is PMXD from actually from today. So is this? Yeah, I think that's so. Yeah, I think that's the first trade, which is also looked looked like okay, like selling, sort of a good trade, but managed poorly. So what I was looking for was like this emotional push. This kind of looked at six, just above six, failed this like stuffing selling. This fail below VWAP, okay, reclaim, and then this emotional push. If it was like consolidating and holding a little bit, probably would have been looking for more of a long maybe. But since this like did this emotional push, I took interest in it. That's like high of day. So emotional push high of day seemed like hidden seller and offer, maybe offer trap amount or at 610, still early in the candle. So I was interested. I still didn't take any actions, but it looked like one on level 2 and looked like a big offer trap at 610 at for the 368. We still like 40 seconds, 48 seconds in a candle. Okay, so what else? No seller yet, waiting for retest. Still same, early on a candle, 46 seconds. Small prints on tape might be just longs taking profits at the high of day. That long from 540 upper trend line break. So these reds on a small tape didn't really affect a lot. I'm still focusing on this. So these are probably just taking profits at high of day. Whoever long this, I can't draw, but this like upper trend line, trap under VWAP, reclaim, hold, and trend line break, cup and handle. So whoever long here, they probably just taking profits. So that what we see on this tape. Nothing on a big tape, so it's still not shorting. Okay, so it retest the ask, added some sell on the big tape. So okay, so we got like a big order on a big tape now on a sell. Big tape, bid prop, still early on candles. Okay, we still early on candle, 42 seconds, but we now have a bid prop at 608 and we have a selling in 608. So I'm beginning to think, okay, we have a seller at 608. The offer trap is still there, 364. So okay, it got chipped away a little bit. Still early, yeah, still like no short. We're still waiting. So I saw the ask being chipped away. One big order, some small orders, but it's being chipped away. Bid prop is still there. Bid prop is still there, still early. I'm still not shorting. I'm still not interested. Now I want to see like a refresh. And what do I get? I do get a refresh at 610, which is still, we don't have any more big buyers on the tape. We have some red again on a sell. It's still 42 seconds, still early. refresh, huge sell, that's where I hit short. So it still added 364, 367. It added again, but big tape, uh, this tape run speeding up, and this hit with a big orders. I'm pretty sure that's where I hit short, but maybe I was slower than I'd like to believe. And 38, so that's my order sitting. So yeah, actually I may have hit short there, didn't get fill. That's where my order sits. And good thing that I didn't actually cancel it and try to chase on a bid, because we had the spread, and I did realize that. That's why I didn't cancel it and hit bid, because I thought, yeah, I don't want to get filled there. So I just waited for it to get filled, but it was looking actually good. There's still like no no follow through of the green or whatever. There's a little bit of a bid prop, but still setting into the bid prop. What I saw next was, so it pushed a little bit higher, but just on pure and organic, like on a bigger tape like AAs, but no follow through with the green on the tape. Offer trap actually refreshed even more, added more, and I saw no reason like to cover. My risk was like just above, and I was gonna see like, yeah, gonna take it to the J lines partial, and then I think I don't remember what I was looking for. There was 20 MA. I don't remember what level it was, and 50 Fib retracement as well. And yeah, no green on tape, risk just above and hold. So that's what I did, but then mismanaged it somehow, because it didn't give me a proper signal. To be honest, it was a signal, but it wasn't a proper signal. So yeah, kind of, yeah, that's it. Kind of fit in the time. So yeah, thanks for doing this, Lewis. Really appreciate it. Really great help. Have a good weekend.